Hey, Chatter Crew, welcome or welcome back to the channel. Your presence is very much appreciated. I'm back with your favorite BB Chatter, sharing thoughts and observations on this recent episode of BB27. Before I get started, I kindly ask that you like, share, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you're alerted each time I drop another recap and review of our favorite game, Big Brother. All right. Tonight's episode opened with a recap of Vince's HOH reign, the nomination of Zay, Amy, and Ashley, and the veto competition. Ashley won veto, saved herself, and shocker, Vince replaced her with Kelly. By the way, in last night's veto episode, I got to give props to the Big Brother announcer. The line that he said during the opening of the episode, he said, "And the house wants Ashley disbarred." It's that was so cheesy because Ashley is a lawyer. You get it? Oh, I love little things like that, but I appreciated that. But it was so cheesy. And oh my God, the veto player pick delay. My first thoughts were, Ashley, girl, are we serious right now? They had to hold up the entire veto selection or veto player picks because Ashley was in the shower. I'm like, is this her entire season arc now? Oh my God. And in full transparency, I don't have an episode or veto episode recap because last night's uh, it dragged on hard between already knowing the outcome from the feeds and then the pacing of the whole episode. I just struggled to stay engaged. I fell asleep. Luckily, tonight's eviction episode brought back a little energy. All right, so with that said, I captured thoughts and I made a few observations. So let's get into it. All right, let's start with the rise of the Burger Boys. We saw the official emergence of the Burger Boys, the Guys Alliance. It has Zay, Will, Riley, Vince, and Zach. And I guess they're a final five. Zach even broke down assigning each. No, was it Zach or Vince? Well, someone broke down the assigning each guy a different part of the burger. Like, so and so is the lettuce. I'm like, what? That did make me chuckle. It was cute, but let's see if the alliance is actually has any meat to it, pun intended. All right, Kelly's social struggles. Kelly rubbed some house guests the wrong way with her comments, but I think it's more about her being socially awkward than her being malicious. The pressure of being in the house that definitely doesn't help her out at all. And hopefully she finds her footing, especially after tonight's win for her. The mastermind makes his return. We see him back and entering the house, walking around while the house guests are asleep. We were already warned that he was going to return, and now I'm very curious uh, how his presence will shake things up next time we see him. Right? Is he gonna manipulate a player, get Amy to do something to stir the pot, or something like that? So I'm looking forward to seeing more from the mastermind. Okay, Rachel's strategic reign. Rachel is playing a really strong game to me right now. Her influence is spreading throughout the house. She's subtly pulling strings without anyone fully realizing it. In case in point, she led the girls' discussion to lock in the vote against Zay. Exactly what she wanted to have happen this week. I just think she's playing a good game. That coming for the queen line, I thought it could have been iconic if she hadn't tripped over her sandals right afterwards. The whole game on moment, that was okay. And the gown reference, that didn't quite land for me. But I appreciate the effort. Um, in talking about her gameplay, she strategically framed Zay to Keanu, right? Exaggerating how often Zay pushed for Keanu to go up as a replacement nominee. She got into Vince's ear right before the nominations, convincing him not to put up Keanu. That's what she said to him, right? And now she's successfully rallied votes to evict Zay. Now, is everything she's saying 100% truthful? No. But that's Big Brother, and it's just entertaining to watch. All right, the BB Blockbuster, aka AI Arena. I think I referred to that as the AI Arena. It's similar, but in this season, it's called the BB Blockbuster. Excuse me, the BB Blockbuster. This one was called Ransom Notes. And this week's comp had the players unscrambling words to match an object in the room. Um, and tell me I wasn't the only one who immediately rewound after the commercial because I didn't get the phrase. I caught Emerald at the end, but what was the full answer? Can someone drop a comment if you figured it out and just let me know? I just need to know what was the phrase. All right. Anyway, congratulations to Kelly on the win. She won the BB Blockbuster. Hopefully, this gives her the confidence and the boost she needs to step up her strategy, starting with never to again volunteer herself on the block. One thing I wanted to get the opinion of others on was the gap in the BB Blockbuster game. Um, it's one that reminds me of the issues we saw with the AI Arena, right? So, right now, when the house guests return from the competition, too much time, I feel, is spent on congratulating the winner instead of focusing on the nominee pitches, right? And I think that's crucial, right, in strategy because what winds up happening is their pitches get cut short and they miss out on opportunities to like get into game talk and stuff like that. And we as viewers, I'm also interested in seeing that, how fast people are pitching, what they're saying, and if they are able to convince someone to change their mind. Like, I think there could be more in that time. I'm not sure how they fix it, especially when the BB Blockbuster is in the live show format, right? So maybe they can move the competition to another night because but then we lose some of the real time tension that makes the BB Blockbuster really exciting, right? Plus, it would mean another feed blackout, right? Because they'll shut down the feeds to run that competition, which I don't think as BB fans we want that either. Um, so I think it's like a tough balance. Like, how do they keep that energy of the live comp while giving the nominees a fair shot to campaign and giving the audience something to view all in that moment, right? So I'd love to hear your thoughts on it, and let's chat about it in the comments. All right, Zay's painfully awkward exit. I gotta hand it to him though. He gave it his all in that eviction speech. Um, it was uncomfortable to watch. His body language, it just screamed, "Get me out of here." His face turned so red, and it was just honestly kind of heartbreaking. Then suddenly we get the comic relief. Enter in Zach with his Oscar worthy crying performance. It was just too much. He was just doing too much. And correct me if I'm wrong, but did anyone actually see tears? I mean, it was just some next level dramatics. I can't with Zach and the crying and carrying on like that. Um, he just needs to dial it down a little bit. One more thing I have to say about Zay. Not only is he a really good looking guy, but he's also way more than just a physical player. He speaks multiple languages. He's a great chess player. He was teaching people how to play chess, which was one of the things that they were using in terms of calculating him or defining him as a threat in the game, right? Saying he's smarter than he's smart. He's smart. And obviously he's in great shape. Excuse me, great shape. So no, it wasn't all brawn and no brain. Is that how the saying goes? Yeah. Zay was a a good competitor. Um, well, actually, I don't know how true that is because he's the first one out. But I guess I'm saying all this to say he was just more than a pretty face. And the truth is, he just got caught in Rachel's crosshairs. And let's be real, it wasn't lost on me that she got way too much satisfaction watching him get voted out. Did you catch that subtle smirk? And then in the diary room, when she was casting her vote, she hit us with that. I don't know why Zay is messing with me. I'm like, Rachel, please. We all know why, Rachel. Anyway, Zay was very classy in his exit and in his interview with Julie. Okay, now my unsolicited but necessary house guest hot takes. My thoughts and opinions. All right, starting with Morgan. Morgan needs to learn the art of conversation, right? Not just the monologue. I mean, yes, we get like the social game and talking. That's part of the BB game. We get it. But she just bulldozes through strategy talks, like over talking the other house guests just to get her opinion across. And it just comes off as my way or the highway energy. And the house guests, they're gonna, if they haven't already, they're gonna take note of this and it's gonna haunt her. Yeah, it's gonna come back to haunt her. All right, Will. To me, Will is quietly winning right now, right? Strong social game. Check. Multiple alliances. Check. Flying under the radar while being genuinely likable. Big check. If he keeps this up, he could go far in the game, and I'm here for it. I'm rooting for him. We like Will. Yes, we do. And I hope his chocolate drop at home is watching and is very proud. He's doing very well right now. All right, Jimmy's veto ceremony meltdown. Okay, that was a choice. The sunglasses, tossing them, that was kind of cringy. It was so rehearsed. It didn't look um natural, I guess, for someone who's throwing sunglasses, but it just was. It was too much. He was doing too much. But Keanu instantly killing the moment with, "How long did you take to come up with that?" That was hilarious to me. And it was like that reality check we all needed to hear in that moment. Okay, Ava, girl, like I don't know. I don't know with Ava between the twerking and did that twerking even happen on the last night's episode, the veto episode, or was that on the feeds? Because I missed that and I just missed it. I guess that's a good thing. I don't know about Ava. I didn't like the mean spirited digs at Keanu, like with with her claiming like, oh, he's following me around, it's creepy. I'm not sold on Ava yet. No, I'm not sold on Ava. Um, Someone needs to check if her vibe and her aura is off, or is it just me? All right, Lauren and her strategic switch. I guess it's a switch, or she's just more alert, or I should say she's activated, right? But this has been it's been nice to watch. She's finally playing the game with purpose. And or I should say, but if she gets distracted by a showman's, I'm just gonna be so disappointed. I swear. I hope she stays focused. All right, I'll watch for more during the feeds and do my best to share in between episode recaps. I do. I got to give major props to my BB mutuals and the feed watchers out there. Y'all are built different. Your girl is over here trying to keep up, but between the 24-hour or 24/7 feeds and my 9 to 5, I'm running on caffeine and pure fandom at this point. How do y'all recap with such speed and accuracy? Meanwhile, I'm over here at 3 in the morning, well intentioned but barely coherent, because the feeds they own my sleep schedule. I mean, I'm watching them. Next thing I know, I'm like, oh, 1 more hour of fees. And then that turns into my alarm clock going off to start my work day. Uh, you know, I don't know how you guys do it, but don't worry. I have a new game plan I'm going to try. So thank you, those that's listening. Thank you very much for riding with me, and it's very much appreciated. All right, yeah. All right, my name is Danielle. You're listening to Chatter Out Loud. Thank you so much for joining me. And as always, I appreciate your support. And that's all I have. Thanks again for listening, and I'll talk to you next time.